Paparazzi Barber, Lifestyle Oasis, Real Barber Tutorials. I wanted to talk to you guys about kids and when they get their haircuts, their first haircuts especially, and their experiences, and it goes a long way with their other experiences. What parents don't understand is when you bring in your kid to a barbershop, they're a little infant, they're a little kid. Most of the times they're nervous. They're walking into an environment, they see grown-ups, they hear noises, they just see all types of activity. It might be the sound on the TV, it might be the sound from the adults or whatever. And then when they hear the sounds from the clippers, it'll get them nervous. A lot of the kids end up traumatized from going to barbershops. I see this a lot where parents will bring their kids to me and they're traumatized. The parents don't understand because the parents just remember going to the barbershop and they went through certain things. So they just bringing their kids to the shop and not understanding the details and intricacies of it. They'll bring their kid, and then a lot of the times when the kids start reacting a certain way, they either try to do two things. They will force the kid to get a haircut, or they'll try to bribe the kid. A lot of the times the force is the main thing, where they try to bully the kid into getting a haircut. And a lot of the times that will cause trauma. And when you bring the kid to another barbershop, another trauma happens, and then you bring them to another shop. So a lot of the parents are impatient, or they'll go certain places where it's pricey for them and they can't afford it. So they bring their babies back to these people that's traumatizing them. A lot of the barbers don't have patience. Patience, I can't teach you that, but I can teach you ways of how to cut kids and maneuver around certain things with the Real Barber Tutorials. Say, for instance, you bring your kid to me and you tell me about his prior experiences, and I could tell you if he's traumatized or whatever the case may be. A lot of the times you bring your kid to a barber, especially I'm in Jamaica right now, so the culture is a little bit different. It's faster. It's like that everywhere too as well, but down here in particular, a lot of the barbers are thinking of the next customer after the kid. So they're not paying attention or practicing patience on that kid. So especially if the kids start crying, the barber is thinking how he's going to get through with that and how he's going to finish the job. So now it becomes a conflict. It becomes a battle between the kid, the barber, and the kid, the parent, and the barber and the parent, because the barber is looking at the kid and the parent like, yo, I got to get through this. Hold your kid, or do this or do that. Now the kid is fighting back against the tension and the physical force that he can't overcome because he's not strong enough to. So he's going to cry and he's going to remember that experience. A lot of the barbers too, like I said, they don't practice patience. So, and a lot of them can't cut kids. A lot of barbers don't want to cut kids. They just don't want to because it just causes anxiety in them as well. And they just can't deal with the movement of the child. Kids are going to move, and kids are going to do a lot of things in that chair. So the barber have to have reflexes, and he have to have patience, and he have to have understanding of the situation, because every kid is different. Some kids will sit there and let you trim them, and some kids will fight you. They'll come back and fight you. I have several kids that I've been cutting, and the extreme cases where it takes a long time to get through them, and some of them have they're in the spectrum, so they come with certain types of issues that we have to deal with, me, the parent, and the kid, and we have to just go through it because those are my clients. But a lot of the kids that go into these shops, there's a battle between the barber and the parent and the kid. And when the kid come back, he remembers that. Remember, once you've been traumatized in your life, anywhere in your life, you remember that experience. So imagine a little kid when he walks into the barbershop and he remembers the experience he had prior, and that causes the next barber to get uneasy, And then it creates a whole new trauma because he sees another person abusing him. It's like abuse. And the parent is forcing him to do something that he don't want to do. And then it just causes all kinds of problems. So that's something that I can't teach you patience, but I could teach you little techniques and little strategies of how to get through it. And once the kid get through it the right way, then it brings down the trauma a little bit. It's a process. It's not just one haircut where you cut the kid and then, because he might be good this day and then he might be bad that day. Kids have moods too. So it's an understanding thing. And the parents have to understand where they're bringing their kid. Stop bringing your kid to every barber. You're running into different stores because you're impatient as well. It's not just the barber that's impatient. You're impatient because you can't wait and you can't plan out an experience for your child's hair. That's the problem. The parents, most of the time, because they're just willing to just bring their kid anywhere and throw them anywhere and force their way through it because that's how it's supposed to be done. No, you're creating trauma. You're creating problems in the kid. Eventually, kids grow up though, but that takes time. But when you're dealing with a young child, you have to be mindful of a lot of the things that the kid is going to go through in the barber experience. And trust me, it's not easy for the barbers because they have to deal with a lot of stuff when they're cutting a kid. It's not easy. But once the kid get used to the barber and the barber understands the personality, understands the parents, understands the kid's hair, because sometimes you use a clipper and it's not cutting properly, and any little like physical pain or tug of the hair, because some kids' hair is sensitive, that's going to cause a reaction from the past traumas to come back. It's going to spark a trauma in the kid to come back, and a flashback of when, and then you'll have to find a way how to calm the kid back down. So it's a lot of details to it, and it's a lot of intricacies. I'm not going to go into it too deep because this is not a tutorial. This is just a message to all the parents and all the barbers of what's going on in the kids. And once there's a battle of the kid, first of all, the kid could walk in the shop and the kid could sense when a barber is angry or don't want to trim them, or when they're cutting the kid and he's angry with the kid could feel all that tension and he feel the parents getting upset, and the parents bribe. The kid is not. Kids are smarter than we think they are. So we have to be smart as well and try to understand what's going on. Okay? Carry on. It's a lifestyle.